and welcome to this Tech Power Up session on partner best practices with Defend. Today we'll be talking about some of the key best practices we have for developing a partnership with Microsoft, unlocking revenue opportunities and business opportunities, developing and maturing services. My name is John O'Green and I am the Microsoft Practice Lead for Defend. This is my email on screen now and I welcome any questions on the content covered today. So who are Defend? Well, Defend is a pure-play cybersecurity company that's been around for about 5 years. We really aligned with Microsoft Security in the last 2 years, as there was recognition within Defend that nearly all of the organizations we work with are heavily invested in Microsoft Cloud technologies. Yet their incumbent partners can be very technology and transaction focused and struggle to articulate key cybersecurity concepts. Our business is divided into 5 key functions. We assess cybersecurity effectiveness against industry standard frameworks such as NIST and ISO 27K, and compliance frameworks such as PCI DSS and GDPR. We offer advisory services through something we call the Defend Cyber 7, which covers governance, risk, policy, incident management, information management, and compliance. We offer a wide array of professional services delivery, which is typically to assist organizations with the capability and capacity to deploy advanced Microsoft security workloads and embed that capability within their own security functions. We also operate a managed service capability powered by Azure Sentinel called Defend ICE. We offer assurance with ongoing measurement of cybersecurity effectiveness and maturity, along with vulnerability and pen testing capabilities through our attack team. Defend is a gold security partner with competencies across Microsoft 365, Windows, and Azure. Defend has been on a journey with Microsoft and Azure Sentinel since the very beginning. Even while Azure Sentinel was still in preview, Defend had already incorporated it as a core part of our managed security service known as Defend ICE. We see Azure Sentinel as integral to connecting the ecosystems of both Microsoft and non-Microsoft security and monitoring systems together. Our initial approach was that we would work with customers to replace their incumbent logging and monitoring platforms or leverage them as part of our service. We, however, quickly found that all of our customers, we however quickly found the most effective approach was to deploy Azure Sentinel for all of our customers and integrate their existing logging and monitoring platforms over time, building a roadmap to move to ingestion and analysis in Azure Sentinel over time. Over the past year, we've seen recognition of our investment in Azure Sentinel as a key component of our security services by having our ICE service added to the Microsoft Intelligent Security Association catalog. A key focus for our cybersecurity philosophy is to enable and drive digital transformation. There is not a single organization that is not already on the path to digital transformation in one way or another. At a practical level, this could mean many different things, but holistically, it is a journey towards an online, always connected, collaborative, and digitally native organization. Organizations that fail to create this environment will not attract and retain the talent that they need to evolve and transform in such a rapidly paced and competitive environment. We also have to understand the profound shift in organizations that has been enforced by COVID-19. We know now that staff can work from home remotely, and in many instances, staff now demand this flexibility. And while this is a business challenge, it is time that cybersecurity recognizes their role and embracing and enabling the organizations they serve or are part of, and enabling this transformation, and ensuring it is accelerated and not hindered by the security controls that they deploy. The cybersecurity transformation begins with an understanding that the traditional methods of protecting organizations by building silos, walls, and collecting logs are no longer effective. The landscape has changed dramatically and will continue to do so with organizations embracing digital transformation. The focus must be on building cyber resilience through business understanding and a holistic approach that is engaged with every part of the organization. This requires focusing on building secure services before laying down complicated security solutions. It also requires vigilantly focusing on the entire breadth of the organization and its threat exposure, and intelligently applying the right level of controls where the greatest risk exists. Ultimately, this results in providing integrated and automated management and response of cybersecurity and enabling the organization to succeed in its business strategy to be more productive, effective, and profitable. Cyber resilience is not something that is created overnight, neither is it something that can be achieved through technology solutions or checklists to follow. Cyber resilience is achieved through a holistic approach across the entire organization that is driven from the top and encompasses people, process, and technology. It must be integral to every part of the organization and support the key principle of ensuring that everything that we do is inherently secure and is therefore resilient by its very nature. It is also achieved by clearly defining the outcomes the organization needs to achieve, understanding the assets it is trying to protect, and the threats that they are likely to face. These threats need to be modeled into a controls framework that clearly identifies the indicators of these threats, which services and systems will likely be involved, and what controls exist to potentially detect and protect them. This requires a clear understanding and definition of threat behavior and the defense in depth controls that are available. There are four key areas that cybersecurity practitioners should focus on in transforming their cybersecurity practices. The first is that of cybersecurity as an enabler. The goal of cybersecurity should always be, how can we enable the organization to achieve its strategy and business outcomes while ensuring that the risk of threats is clearly understood and managed? Second is the notion of secure services before security services. If it is possible to deliver services securely, it is always more effective than trying to introduce additional security services. This means engaging with the organization early on and ensuring that any new initiatives, services, or capabilities are being architected, designed, implemented, and managed securely. Next is breadth before depth. Many organizations will fall into the trap of trying to implement all the security solutions and all of the controls to be fully compliant and cover every single possible scenario, and stage the development over the environment step by step. This often means deploying at full depth and often results in deployments taking a very long time and potentially running out of funds before they are implemented end to end across the organization. This principle promotes applying controls across the entire threat landscape before moving to depth. It is better to have a simple control effectively and universally adopted than attempting to deploy at depth on day one. The last key area is the notion of intelligent cybersecurity ecosystems. The effectiveness of defense in depth controls and intelligent detection and protection against threats is through controls working together cohesively. While there are approaches to orchestration and integration across technologies, the most effective approach is to build connected ecosystems of cybersecurity technologies that are natively integrated and work together to better manage threats. The alternative to this is to build silos and attempt to establish middleware or integration between them, which is often expensive, unreliable, and can break, and not based on an agreed standard or information model. Defend ICE is a key capability that Defend has developed as a Microsoft partner, and it is built on Azure Sentinel for its threat detection capabilities. We talked in another session about our best practices using Azure Sentinel, and these are all gained from learnings we have from our managed service, which we provide to customers. Defend ICE is our intelligent cybersecurity ecosystem, and we'll refer to it a bit during this session, and it is a really transformative way to provide cybersecurity capabilities to customers. Rather than just focusing on incidents and alerts, ICE leverages the notion of connected security systems to provide a more holistic approach to cybersecurity across an organization while keenly understanding the business operations and key threats relevant to that organization. It covers multiple nodes within this holistic approach, from threat detection, which is what we've built exclusively using Azure Sentinel, across to incident response and service management of the underlying services and technologies that we connect to ICE. Lastly, we use Azure Lighthouse to provide an easy mechanism for connecting our SOC team to various customer environments, which provides easy onboarding, greater granularity and visibility over who has access, while reducing time spent for our SOC team to move between different Sentinel instances and different customers with different access control requirements. Defend ICE is a great capability that you as a partner can leverage with your own customers in a partner-to-partner motion. And this is something that all of our current ICE customers have with their incumbent partner who looks after the majority of a customer's environment, but seeks to leverage Defend to provide varying levels of security insight, capability, capacity, and backfill. So why did we choose Microsoft to underpin our ICE service? Well, our initial approach was that we would work with customers to replace their incumbent logging and monitoring platforms from other vendors or leverage those platforms as part of our service. We, however, quickly found that the most effective approach was to deploy Azure Sentinel for all our customers and integrate their existing logging and monitoring platforms, then build a roadmap to move to ingestion and analysis into Azure Sentinel over time. Defend ICE builds upon the deployment and maintenance of Microsoft security workloads, and the Microsoft 365 and Azure security capabilities align strongly with our philosophy of connected security systems. Given that the majority of our customers are currently consuming Microsoft 365 E3 or E5, this means that there is natural alignment with our philosophy, the Microsoft capability, and what Microsoft services our customers have procured. There have been challenges while building this ICE service. Azure Sentinel is a reasonably new offering compared to other offerings from other vendors. Is it trusted to perform? Is it proven to perform? There are some organizations who will base their security procurement decisions around things like whether or not a particular vendor is in the Gartner Magic Quadrant or the Forrester Wave. So it has taken time for Azure Sentinel to achieve its place in the leader categories and quadrants. There are also challenges in challenging the traditional SIEM behaviors that typically end up with ingestion of all available IT log sources. This typically causes detection bias and log paralysis, as no thought is given to the key threat scenarios that an organization is concerned about, and it becomes incredibly difficult for SOC analysts to sift through the vast volumes of ingested logs and to run hunting queries. It also leads to increased costs due to the Azure Sentinel being a consumption-based service, and an ingested all mindset and approach to log ingestion will rapidly exceed available budgets and runs the risk of shuttering the entire project to deploy. The cost of an ingested all approach will also increase exponentially once retention targets are implemented for those ingested log sources. There are also challenges articulating the value of a SIEM-like service such as Defend ICE that doesn't rely solely on metrics such as incidents per day and events per minute to describe its value. There have also been challenges as we learn and work with customers in validating those services and articulating the value that they provide. There were initial challenges skilling up our team to be able to build automations, playbooks, and workbooks using KQL to increase the efficiency and value provided by our ICE service, and the additional insights and values possible within Azure Sentinel. Also, we had to spend time and effort on training to enable our team to better understand the relationship between Azure Sentinel and the underlying extended detection and response layers such as Defender for Endpoint, Cloud App Security, and Azure Security Center. And with those challenges have come successes, and we're now starting to see more successes than challenges as our capability and philosophy that underpins ICE grows to maturity. One of our major successes was with our work with Zespri, who are a global exporter of kiwi fruit grown in New Zealand. We're working with Zespri across a wide range of initiatives, and many of them feed directly into our ICE service to provide increased visibility, confidence, and support from security in their digital transformation journey and their cybersecurity transformation using Microsoft 365. Having ICE inducted into the Microsoft Intelligent Security Association has been a huge win and a boost for our ICE team. We're confident that we're heading in the right direction, but for it to be recognized by Microsoft has been incredible. Defend is now mentioned alongside some pretty impressive Microsoft security partners. We almost feel like proud parents when we see a product like ICE grow, go through iterations, and develop. There is a recent cybersecurity attack that's been happening in New Zealand, and seeing the ability for our team to rapidly react, collaborate, collect IOCs, and deploy them into our customer environments rapidly has been incredible. There is what we also call a Sentinel loop between Sentinel and security services that connect to it. In order to continuously improve the capability of Defend ICE to detect new threats and vulnerabilities, work is required to deploy, monitor, and improve the underlying services, all of which then feeds back into Azure Sentinel, further increasing the value of the service. The Sentinel loop has also been great at surfacing up new opportunities for us to deploy new workloads and then wrap managed service engagements around these new workloads. So where to next for ICE? Well, within the ICE service, we're driving an increased focus on automation, machine learning, and end-user behavioral analytics to improve the efficiency, accuracy, and the overall ability for us to scale out the number of customers we can support without compromising the very high standards that we've set for ourselves. We're also developing our solution so it is easier for customers to procure through the Azure Marketplace and the Mesa catalog. This also includes onboarding the service for the ICE service for customers. We are also keenly committed to assisting other partners and leveraging our security knowledge and capability within their own customers, as there is incredible value in partners working together with other Microsoft partners who are at this point unable to invest in and grow their own security capability and services that they are able to provide to customers. Lastly, we're developing a global strategy for ICE that will allow us to service additional markets built on the learnings, success, challenges, and support so far from what we have received so far from Microsoft. This aligns well with our overall go-to-market strategy and will enable Defend to grow rapidly across the Asia Pacific region. One of the other key programs that we work very closely with Microsoft on is the Cloud Accelerator program. We've had a lot of success running Microsoft Security and Azure Sentinel workshops through the Microsoft Cloud Accelerator program from Microsoft customers. It's a great way to be introduced to those customers and to show your knowledge and competence and the ability to listen to a customer's concerns, challenges, identify their key threats, then articulate the value of working with Microsoft to address these key threats and challenges. We also work quite closely with these customers to develop and establish roadmaps, any licensing requirements where they need a key feature from Microsoft to address their key threats, and how best to move forward in that regard. And it really improves the ability for Defend to articulate the value of Microsoft. Often we will get our team to deliver these Microsoft workshops so that they are better able to articulate the various levels of value that come from fully adopting Microsoft Cloud technologies. I joined Defend from contracting at Microsoft, just as New Zealand went into full lockdown with COVID-19. The original intent behind my decision to join Defend was that I wanted to deepen my technical capabilities with Microsoft, but also learn security and develop a security capability, as I felt it was a key gap in my overall professional development. What I found when I joined Defend, and whilst I was forced to work from home, was that there was far more value for me at that time developing a Microsoft practice well to support Defend with all of the functions within the organization and to better leverage our partnership with Microsoft. The overall function of the Microsoft practice is to support the sales team with information around how we deploy our professional services, our managed services, along with information around the Microsoft products to best achieve value for our customers and return on investment. It is also to support our professional services team with the right resources to competently and correctly deploy and support advanced Microsoft security products, and to support our managed services team with the right capabilities and the right enablement activities that will increase their confidence and capability to effectively manage Microsoft security services. Another function of the Microsoft's practice is to ensure that a defender is taking advantage of incentive programs, enablement activities, and is able to feed the success that we're having with customers through working with Microsoft back into the various units of Microsoft, and to share our success with Microsoft more broadly. This also flows into our go-to-market strategy, which is to formulate case studies detailing the success of our products, such as Defend ICE, and the value that we're able to provide to customers by achieving their customer outcomes through our professional and managed services engagements. Within this last function of the Microsoft practice, there is a significant amount of time and effort spent to ensure that we understand the Microsoft programs and initiatives, such as incentives like Partner Admin Link, online services usage, or claims partner of record, and at all times we leverage the Microsoft partner resources available to us to further develop and mature our products, services, and capabilities. Profitability and enablement are key areas of focus for any Microsoft partner, and these have been incredibly beneficial to us as we develop our Microsoft practice. At this point, I'd like to thank you for this time on this webinar session. I hope it has been invaluable and informative. Again, my contact details are here if you wish to get in touch with anything that has been covered in this session. Thank you, and I hope you've been enjoying the session within TechPowerUp.